Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another video. Well, today I said, you know what? We're going to go back in time. We are going to go old school. We are going to get to your grandfather's cars that used to drive around, maybe in East Germany, or maybe we're going to get to your cousin's, late cousin, sister's car, whatever. You know what I mean, or girlfriend that he had and was back in the early 50s, and that was the car they used to drive. Or maybe you were not even born and we you like a little bit about Eastern European car history. But let's get to the point. Let's see what I got for you right now. It's a 143 scale 1950 E. I have to wait until it goes around because it's not a very common brand. EMW 340 2. What do we know about the 340 2 EMW brand? Well, before anything, what I can tell you about this brand, it's a very short lived brand. It only lived for about a decade or less. Uh, let's say a decade. Let's give it a decade because it doesn't really say when were they stopped building. Now, what was ESW? ESW was literally the Eastern German factory that was located for the BMW. BMW had a factory in East Germany. The city is, let me give you the, I know my German friends will destroy me after mentioning this. It was Eisenach, Eisenach, East Germany. This brand in 1945, after World War II, no, one of the, let me give you the information about this. It says EMW was an East German manufacturer of automobiles and motorcycles based on Eisenach. Senach. This brand was one of the pre-World War II BMW factories located in East Senach. While after the war, they were taken by the Soviets, which Insenak was situated on the Soviet occupation zone. The factory continued producing cars and motorcycles under the BMW brand, but after a lawsuit in 1952, they had to change their name to EMW. The logo type was also similar, but instead of having the blue BMW used, EMW used the red. They were founded in 1945 and they only lasted until the 50s. It doesn't really say when exactly in the 50s, it says during the 1950s. So, literally, let's give it a decade. 10 years, they only had, if I'm not mistaken, they only had this model. Uh, let's see. This is one of their models, which, if you are familiar with the EMW 340, they lasted from, let's give it a 1949 till 1955. So literally was probably their most popular model for the brand while it was still running. They only built about 21,250 models of this car. They had it as a four-door saloon, which is this one, or they also had it as a wagon, a five-door state. Engines, they had a 2.0 six-cylinder, straight six-cylinder engine, and transmission, you only had a four-speed manual. And this is for this model specific. So they were very basic, not so much actually, they were not so basic. Let me give it a clarify. Remember, it had more or less the BMW essence. It's just that the factory was on the eastern side of Europe, in the eastern side of Germany. When the Soviets took over, they had to give it up and they could no longer use it as a BMW. That's why they got a lawsuit back in 1952. but I guess it didn't last that long. After a while, I'm guessing it just stopped being produced. So today I said, let me get rare, let me get difficult to find, let me get so my friends from YouTube may not even recognize this car. And I tell you the truth, I didn't even recognize it myself. I didn't even know about EMW. I'm gonna be clear as water. I never heard about this brand. I started collecting diecast, and I said, I got, I like to collect all type of models, as you probably noticed already, and Eastern European, they're part of the story, and I like the car. It's okay. The car could have definitely been a BMW, regular BMW, but this was in the eastern side of. But I guess they didn't make that many models for six years, only 21,000. I guess it's more considered like a luxury model altogether. Hey, by the way, this is a diecast, as you probably noticed, and it's made by IST, which is like more of a detail quality brand for the Agostini, I'm going to say, and they usually cater towards the Eastern European models. All right, I'm going to let this beautiful car go around a few times, and I'll be right back. All right, everyone. So, what you guys thought about this model? Tell me the real truth. Did you ever knew this brand existed? It only lasted for about a decade. It was not a very popular car from what I'm seeing the numbers, but I'm sure this is a true collectible nowadays because the amount of vehicles sold, the time ago, this is a 75-year-old model. It's not a baby no more by any means, and quality, I'm not sure how was it, so I'm not sure how many of them last. So let me know in the comments below. Have you ever seen one of them, like in a museum? Maybe you knew someone back in the days that had one of these. What do you guys think about the vehicle itself? Does it remind you of another model? All right, everyone. Don't forget to give me that beautiful thumbs up. I always appreciate. Thank you. Thank you so much. And don't forget to click and subscribe and click the bell next to the subscribe button that will remind you when I'm posting more videos. Take care of yourselves, as I always say, and goodbye.